Oh yeah, you are live. What it do, what it do, what it do. Virtual world, family, kings, queens.
Good
You know what
morning.
you doing here. Miss Yolanda, Miss J, you know.
Yes, yes,
So it's
yes,
Tuesday.
yes.
Mental tips for Tuesday. I know we probably, New Year's is almost here. You know
Almost.
what are we gonna do different? How are we gonna change our mindset? Like, let's just first breathe, take it all in, be happy that things are about to switch over. People, new administration's about to change. Ooh, let's be okay within ourselves, right? Like that's just the one first tip. Let me just throw it out there. Y'all know I'm a me sexual. That's my own movements. All day
Hmm.
me sexual. So tune in with yourself. Love yourself. That's the biggest tip I can give you. Like no one can love you like you can love you. So start
Nobody.
there. Look in the mirror and let yourself know that ain't nobody can love you more than you can love yourself. You are enough, right? You are enough.
Yes,
You are good enough.
yes,
Whoo,
yes,
sit in that. You
yes,
are good enough.
yes. You are smart enough. You are pretty enough. You are talented enough. You are anointed enough. And you are loved enough. Because if don't nobody love you but you have more love than you can actually take hold of if you just hug and love on yourself. You know, we can't look for it outside. If you can't find it inside, man, you're gonna get everything from the outside. I mean, toxic,
Exactly.
waste, regurgitated, throw back anything, you know. So, oh God, thank you. I needed that.
Yes. So that's the first tip we want to give you. The first mental tip we want to give you is really to tune into yourself. Yes, Supreme. I see you. I love
Yes,
myself all the time. I love seeing that. Look at
yes,
that. I love myself all the time. So guys,
yes,
whoo, start there
yes,
because like I say this all the time. When you have the ability to love yourself, you have the ability to love those around you. You have the ability to show your kids what love is, right? That's one of the reasons why as
right.
O.M.A members, we focus on really helping people live their dreams because we know once you're not stressed working 3 or 4 jobs and then you take that stress home to your families, right? We want to relieve some of that stress. We want to help people live their dreams so that that joy and the love that they see inside themselves, the love that they are able to spread every day because they're doing what they love, that's what we are
Yes,
trying to accomplish. That's what we hope that people going into
yes,
2021, their mindset is already in the mindset of I have the ability to one, love myself and two, love somebody else. Let's just start there.
yes. Amen. Amen.
Too easy.
Amen. And loving yourself, we also have to learn how to accept the good and the bad about ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We're not perfect. We're human. So therefore you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, and sometimes you're going to have good and bad in the same day.
Okay.
you know
Okay.
so don't right, learn to forgive yourself, learn to forgive yourself for the simple as well as for the great things. We're all on this journey, and nobody has it 100. I mean, nobody has it 100. And so therefore, in knowing that, we know that on our daily journey we're going to make some good choices, and we may not make some good choices, but
And that's
learning that at
okay.
the end of the day you are still a king or a queen. Adjust your crown. Hey, take a load off. Come on, don't be so hard on yourself. Let's stop beating ourselves up. We get enough of that from the system. We get enough of that from other races. We don't need to do it within our own race, within our own self, in our own body. So just take a minute to just, like we say, take that woosah and, you know, but I was talking to Sister Justina, and I was telling her, I said, "Oh, this has been a rough one." So I just wanted to talk 1 minute about how to overcome anxiety. You're not going to, completely do away with it. But when you have an anxiety attack, sometimes you go through things, your heart gets beating and, things are stressing and worrying you. There's a little simple trick that you can do to bring your anxiety, to bring your mind back to that one place. Grab something cold. Just get a piece of ice or a cold can or a cold bottle of water and just hold it in your hand and just hold it. And pretty soon it is going to be so cold in your hand that it's going to trigger your brain cells to focus on the cold. And actually what it's going to do is going to regulate your heartbeat, because then you're going to start breathing according to the coldness of your hand. And it is a trick that I learned from my therapist as well, on how to overcome those triggers, like right then. And you need to just grab you something cold. Yeah, that'll do the trick.
That is a great tip. Thank you for that little tip. Ooh, I get feedback. I think that's
Oh,
coming from
girl,
Aaron. Yes.
girl, because them
Guys,
triggers come. You
sometimes you can't roll up fast enough. You just grab something cold. Just put your hand in some ice.
just grab some. Yes, there have been times I actually just opened the refrigerator and grabbed a bag of peas or something and just smash it to my head like. But it works. It really works. It does.
Yes,
It does.
breathing
It's
too.
just
And
a
why are we talking about these things, right? I see it up in the comments. These type of things, anxiety, they lead to depression, they lead to addiction, they lead to some like
yes,
when we don't have the answers to, like Miss Yolanda said, sometimes it is just about grabbing something cold to make yourself calm down. I always tell people your feelings are never wrong, but it's the actions towards your feelings that will usually get you fucked up and in trouble, right? Like you can't tell
yes,
somebody how to feel. Like just like I tell people, if I feel like you made a racist comment or whatever, like as a black person, I have that right. You can't, as another race, tell me, oh, that's not racist, whatever, or just somebody's feelings. Everybody's gonna act different. You can call your girls a bitch, but somebody who's not really your girl, and you have that just fluent language, right? Comfortable calling people that might be offended by you saying that. So just
right,
be
right.
cautious of like not you're not gonna hit your and I know because I'm that type of person. Everybody that knows me, like I am probably sound mad aggressive, but that's not really me. Like I'm a loving person. Now I can be harsh as hell. I can be harsh as hell. But if you don't know me, I could already just come out the door like, damn, she's just a bitch. But like it's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
passion behind a lot of the
yeah.
things that I talk about, right? I talk about racism because I literally have to deal with it on a daily basis. I'm passionate about when I talk about police brutality because I lost my father to police brutality. I'm passionate about the school to prison pipeline because I went from school to prison by the time I was 18, 5 years. So when I hear other people, especially like people who are just educators or just like on the outside looking in, like there's a lot of people that give just a perspective that isn't a real reality. Just because, look, I read this in a magazine or another professor said this because they study human behavior. But it's like, when you study human
Yeah.
behavior, are you really stepping into those situations? Are you really stepping into those prisons that ask those 1,200 women, like, really what led
What?
them there? Was it the education system or was it their home setting? Like, and majority of us,
Man,
I had to be in groups with most of the women. We're not talking about how fucked up the school curriculum was. We're talking about the root problems that were happening inside of our homes, which was most of us was being raped, molested. Your father
yes,
wasn't there
yes,
because he was in jail, or maybe your sibling got
yes,
shot or killed. So it's like, how do we
yes,
start dealing with our own truths, even as individuals,
yes.
instead of just throwing all the blames on the systems, on the opposite race, which I do all the time. Don't Everybody knows I'll call them out. But at the same time, what I
Yeah,
feel like I try to do at the same time is call out my own people too on the BS that we do on a daily level, right? Why do I feel comfortable
that's
talking
right.
in the space that I talk in? Is because I did grow up in a majority, or if not half, white family. I had my stepdaddy, who is damn near my daddy, is white. My husband is white. So I see a lot of ignorance inside of that, in that space, that I feel like if I am not
Yeah.
a voice
Yeah.
in that space, then they only continue to live with that ignorance.
Yes.
That
Yes.
even goes
Yes.
within our
And
own home. If
it
we
goes.
continue not to talk about being raped and molested and the signs of that, then we continue to pass on those trends for our kids to be victims of those same things.
Man, because I grew up in a generation, what goes on in the house stays in the house. You know what I'm saying? The secrets of the house, you don't go out and tell anybody because you don't want shame to come on the house. But actually, in all actuality, everybody on the outside already knew what was going on in the house. So it's like it's a big lie that we as a people have set up to say that, keep the family secrets and to keep this and keep that. Look, it's not worth my peace. It's not
And
worth
that's
my
the unrest.
peace.
That's
You
the
know what I'm
unrest that's
saying?
settled when you tell people that. When you tell them to keep it inside, keep it inside. Those actions, how
Yeah.
they act out,
Yeah.
how kids act out in school, how they act sheltered, how they act
Right.
like just in their shell, is because when you tell children this, they then demonstrate the behaviors, the signals of the
Right.
abuse behavior that's happening. And not always, parents are not always aware of what they're doing, the impacts that they're doing, right? So it's
Right.
really about being
Right.
self-conscious, and that's why I always go back to self-love. If you can't love yourself enough,
Yeah.
if you're walking around angry every day, trust and believe you're passing that energy on to anybody that's around you.
Being
And you'd
passed
be
down.
surprised if there's
It's been passed
anybody
down.
around you, because they probably do not want to be there. And your kids are forced to be there. And they're probably just as miserable and grumpy and have just as few people around them,
Right.
because of the lifestyle at which you are showing them it's okay to live. It's not okay to live unhappy, y'all. It's not okay to keep on going
It's
to a
not.
job that is killing
It's
your
not.
spirit. Listen what I say. It's not
It's
okay to go
not.
to a job that is killing your spirit. I'm not saying
It's
killing you
not.
physically, but killing your spirit, because the spirit in you that dies only leaves demons around and
I mean,
inside you.
you
That creates
really
more
you're a
demons.
walking zombie. Really, you're a walking zombie. You are a walking zombie. I was a walking zombie. I really was. I was a walking zombie for most of my young adult life. I come from being molested and enduring being raped, and you had all that baggage on me. Married at 19, had my first baby at 20. So by the time I was 30, and I was everywhere. Although I was an ordained minister, I ministered all the time, but that soundness, because I was so unfulfilled, because I had so much baggage. I didn't know how to deal with things in my life, because you don't deal with them, you don't handle them at that present time. And I have learned, if you don't handle grief gonna handle you. If you don't handle the trauma handles you. If you don't handle that frustration, that anger, that all that negativeness is going to start handling you sooner or later. So it came to a point in my life that I really hit a plateau where I had to revert and go all the way back to the little girl who first got molested. I had to go back and find her. I had to go back and apologize to her. I had to go back and I began to love on her, because that's where, for me, that's where I got lost in that little girl. So when I learned to go back and grab that little girl and address all the issues that that little girl had missed, I found Yolanda again. And now Yolanda has a whole different life. My outlook is completely different. My perspective is completely different, because I don't look for what I have inside outside. I look for it inside, and I allow what's inside of me, because I believe in the Constitution that says, greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. So I allow him to be bigger, so that I can give out is greater. So, and then even when I mess up, I don't beat up myself, because I know that the greater one in me covers everything else. So it caused me to rest. When I go to bed at night, I can sleep peacefully. Even if I did something wrong that day, I can go to sleep in peace, because I know that his love covers it. You know, the love that I have inside of me, it exudes out. And it's just, it's, oh man, give me the opportunity to do what I'm doing now. You know, sharing the gift, sharing the talents that he's placed inside of me, thinking that, oh wow, to talk is that a gift? Yes, it is. You know, to have witty ideas, is that a gift? Yeah, it is. It's a gift. You know, to be able to do what my queen is doing, running a company, a foundation, an organization, a school, and still breastfeed. Man, that's a gift.
Multiple
That's a
good.
gift
That's how
wrapped
you
around.
juggle. That's how you juggle. That's how you juggle.
Man, wow. So you know, it's just a matter. We don't want 2020
Oh yeah,
to interfere with 2021. Oh, I'm going everywhere, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
You
I
know,
knew
I don't want it to.
that.
Yeah, there we go. I got us now, girl. I
She's
found us.
right there.
But I don't.
Yes, you
I
are.
refuse to take 2020 into 2021. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. I can't do it.
And there's some
You
people
know,
you
the
need to let
stresses.
go of in 2020 because they don't need to come with you in 2021. There's just, like we said, you gotta let go of certain things, certain people, certain triggers, right? It's not always people. There's certain triggers around you that are surrounding you. There's a certain mindset that you might be carrying right now that's just not getting you nowhere. If you wake up every day and you're not just like, damn, I just love me, then right there is where you need to start changing your mindset. Your day needs to start with you looking in the mirror and saying, all right, I got this. I know I got this.
Oh,
Too many of us are walking
come
out here talking about,
on.
I got faith in God, but hey, got no faith in yourself. Well, if you got faith in God, you already know God has already paved the way. You know he's not going to give you more than you can handle. So start your day like the queen and king that you are, because your path has already been paved and the path that you walk on is smooth.
Preach.
So anything that you go through right now, any struggles that you went through, or you may see a hurdle in your way, it's a hurdle for you to really be clearing the way for 2021. It's a hurdle to see maybe this person is not for me. That, because whatever hurdles in your way mean it's not supposed to be in your life. It means it's not, you do not need it. Because let me tell you, things that are supposed to be in your life, they come with ease. Things that God or whoever you're most high, the person that you give your energy to, if that's what you believe, if it's supposed to be in your life, it will be in your life. Some people, we begging to be
Yes.
in our lives. We begging certain people to be in our lives who just
Yes.
don't treat us good, who are just
Yes.
not good for us, who are just not bringing us to our full fulfillment. And when I say that, are leading us towards our dreams. We are surrounding ourselves with dream
Ooh,
killers and not surrounding ourselves with more dream makers, with more people who believe in themselves. So when they believe in themselves, they're able to believe in me and what I'm able to do. When they believe in themselves and not
yes.
saying here, oh, I can't tell you what I did to make myself successful, because they believe in themselves so much and their success so much that they don't worry about you and your success, that they don't worry about passing the
No.
gem on to you, because it's not going to put any hurdles
Right.
or any mess in their way. So change your mindset and even believe in some of the things that we all grown up to believe, right? Even the capitalism BS that we think that we got to jump through all these white lies and hurdles to be successful, to think that I got to be on some rapper or entertainer's level to be happy, when we still see these same people who have the same addictions, depressions, and suicide levels. So look at yourself. Ask yourself, where do I want to be? What is my happiness? Where do I see
Yes.
myself? What makes me
Yes.
comfortable? Again, I can't tell you enough. I can't live in no big mansion, baby, because I can barely keep a three story house together with these disrespectful kids. Come on now. What do I look like? These kids will tear up a mansion, baby. When they go, I
And
will
see,
move up.
whereas I
I
come
will move up.
managing a boarding
What
home.
is your comfortable level? Like, what is your happiness? Don't measure it to somebody else. Write down your dreams. Make your vision boards and believe that that is enough. Know that that is enough. Stop looking at your neighbor and the next man talking about, well, if I had his car, if I had his wife, or if I had his what? What do you mean his car that he can't afford, that's putting him in debt? His pretty wife that probably got 3 other side pieces? Like, stop. You don't know what somebody else's issues and problems and hurdles are. So stop wishing it upon yourself. Look at
You
yourself.
do not.
Understand yourself.
You
Go
do
ahead.
not.
I know I
You
just
do
went ham.
not. I often say, and it's so funny, I hate it in the church arena. And in the church arena, I hate it when people will come up and say, "Oh, can I have your anointing?" Why? Do you know the process that the olive had to go through to even get it? Do you why? I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to go. My daddy worked in a prison system. My daddy was a probation and parole officer. And what made him so extraordinary, first of all, he was the only Black probation and parole officer in our area. He is a graduate of Grambling State University, the only man in his office with a degree. His boss didn't even have a degree. The only person in his office with a degree. And my daddy would often go to Angola for trainings. And in the midst of going to trainings, he was an avid chess player. My daddy loved chess. I was playing chess when I was 5 years old, competing with, playing against his friends at 5. But he would go into the prison, and what he would do is he would teach them how to play chess. He would teach them the game of using your mind, of how to think, and he would teach them that the king of being a king. And he would always play with the black pieces. He never, yeah, the only person who could play with the black pieces was me. Because I had to be the black queen. That's where the name comes from. But I had to be the black queen. So anyway, my dad would often get locked in the system. He would get locked in overnight, because they would go in, and of course the lawyers and the probation and parole officers, but they had to be out at a certain time. Well, my dad would never hear the call because he would be teaching the inmates how to play chess. And so there were a lot of nights my dad literally got locked in the jail, and when he passed, I still have pictures. I have pictures upon pictures. And sometimes I got mad. I was like, well, golly, I see more pictures of people in the prison than I see anywhere else. But he had pictures because he had a relationship with each and every one of his, anybody that he came in contact with. He always took a picture of them, and he made their story his story, because at the same time, you can't help a person if you don't know their issue or know their fight or know what's going on in their life. So that's another and a seed of wisdom that I grew up with, learning from my dad. Even it was crazy. Sometimes my mom would have a hissy fit because he would take me along with him when he went to visit his probationees. He would take me with him. And another thing, my dad never done. He did not carry a gun. He would go see people all the time. And he did, and of course, being the only black man, he saw what there was, quote unquote, the ones that had the worst criminal activity. But he had such a persona about himself that he didn't need it. He had such a way to where even if anger or something arose, he was always able to talk himself out of it. So it was just a different era, a different time, a different place. But I
Oh yeah,
learned
and I
so
bring up to any of those CEOs
much.
or people in there that are changing people's lives around. Like you said, your dad took the time to play chess with them, to give them a different mindset. I know when I was locked up, there wasn't a lot of guards out there that cared about your mindset or you doing better when you got home. but I can definitely say I have 2 or 3 that I can be like, if it wasn't for them when I was locked up, like telling me like, yo, you know, you can do better for yourself. Like, you know, you don't need to be on that
Yes.
shit. Like, change your mindset. Like, I give them all the respect in the world, because if it wasn't for them, I'd probably be a different person today. So thank you to people like your
Yes.
dad and anybody watching. If you were one of those
Yes.
guards, you
Yes.
know who you are. So I'm not here to call nobody out. But yeah,
Oh
for
no.
real.
Oh, I'm thankful. I'm thankful because it allows you also to see people for who they are and not for the mistakes that they've made. You know, a lot of people, and he would say it all the time. He said, well, you see that guy right there? That guy's in prison for selling drugs, but he was selling drugs to take care of his family. You know, he tried to get a job. They didn't get this and they're getting that. So it's like a lot of times we have to realize that there's a system that put a lot of people in a position to do the things that they're doing. But when we go back and we retrain, debunk their history, debunk his story, and find our true gift, our true calling, then we'll see. You know, we say it all the time, it's not a sprint. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, we've been here 402 years. It's not
Come
going to
on, people
happen
already beating
overnight.
it right out the door. They just said on the news, what has changed? Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing going to change until
Yeah,
we all get
no.
together, all these separate groups and doing all that. That's one thing O.M.A is not about. We're not here to form this another group or committee and another black movement. No, honey, we trying to get all of us together so we can all go together. Because I just want to segue this
All of
in
us
so we
together.
can all get
Wow.
the respect and reparations, liberations, and
Yes.
freedom that we deserve. Like,
Yes.
O.M.A came together so we could create a bill, so we could get the support that we need. Like, yeah, we big
Yes.
ups to our allies, everybody that's been out there marching. But like I've been saying since y'all been marching, or marching y'all been doing for 400 and something years. What else can we do? So
Yes.
until
Yeah.
we come together,
What
like,
else
we
can we
don't
do?
need another group. We don't need another group. What we need is more people who are building the community and not scared to let more people in the group. Too many organizations like, no, I'm doing this part. Like, why can't we all just support each other? And again, it comes down to individuals, right? A like, a share, a follow,
Yes.
all that stuff plays into it. When we talk about the Black equality package, like, that all plays in it. That all plays into literally what O.M.A does. Like, we can't even really market the bill because you still need marketing for the bill. Hello, that still all costs money. So to do things properly, like, and our bill is lit. Our bill is lit. Like, we literally
Yeah.
covered everything in it. Police reform, once again, all lies on
Yes.
me, which is more than just having your body cams on all the time. Our all eyes on
All the
me
time.
package literally says that it should stream straight to the district attorney's office, and it should be a 24-hour live stream so that we can log in and see what the hell's going on. Like, all eyes
And
on
see
me, not just
and
the
make
police's eye,
sure that the
not just the
attorney
attorney's eye. We want all eyes on me. Prison reform. We ain't playing when it comes to prison reform. There's too many people that look like us locked up for life sentences when there's too many other people that don't look like us on probation. I'm just saying. We also fighting for
and
free
29 of them
education.
that just got out for
For real.
the 29 that were just let out by our soon to be ex-president. You know what I'm saying? Why when you have people like us that's been in there for 30 years for selling weed? Really? Come on. It's time out. And I know, don't, hey, hold on. I know before it starts coming, well, Joe Biden did vote for that law to be put in. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. But we also have to think about how long ago was that? 40 years ago? Man, can we come up to 2020? Yeah, he did that. He did. And a lot of our people are in jail because of it. Yes.
And now we're
And
gonna
a
make sure
lot of
he
our
do
people
better. That's all we can do. We gotta
struggle.
make sure he do better as a people.
Yes.
We gotta step up
Yes.
into those
As a people.
Supreme Courts, all that as a people. Y'all ain't half of us ain't working. We should have all been marching up to them courts. Talk about sign the damn bill, give us our damn money. Like, come on now.
Give
Until
it
we
to us. And I'm still
what?
$600. That's 600. Okay. That's Come on,
We should go. We
come
should
on.
all be
Let's
going
come
up
up.
there talking about we want 2 grand and for it to go retroactive. Ain't none of us moving until y'all make it happen. But that's a whole nother movement. But anyway, also we
That's a
fighting for
whole
free
nother move.
education because why? Too many of us are already in debt. You want Black people to go to college in more debt and come out with more debt, and we can't even get jobs. We ain't even coming out with this with a degree to get into the job
Look,
opportunity that we got the degree in. So we need
look,
free education. I believe that all high
and you
school
know I'm big
trade
on that.
school,
You know I'm big on it.
what? I think you should have trade school in high school and everyone should go to college for business. That should just be it. You should learn what you want in high school. And then for college, everybody should learn business. That should just be an automatic demand. Because if you don't know business, you don't know crap for yourself. And that just means even if you go to work for somebody else, understand how business works so you can represent yourself in the workspace. I'm just going to leave that. We
Yes, yes,
also are
yes,
working
yes,
towards
yes.
clean acts for 2020. Like we need to expunge some of these records a whole lot quicker than what they say they can be expunged, baby. And we need to look
What?
into expunging records that are where the cases have been dropped and you still want people to pay those fines. Like we ain't having that. Like that when I say when we have a package, we ain't
No.
talking about one bill, one piece of legislation.
You
We
arrest
want free
me
health care.
falsely and I have to pay you $2,500 to get my record cleared and you arrested me falsely? We got to do something about it. Got to do something
Yeah,
about that.
we gotta come together. Free healthcare. Yeah, maybe if it was free for everybody, the Black community would trust the healthcare system a little bit friggin' more. So maybe they need to figure out how to pay doctors fairly. So we're not sitting here like, what type of who? Because the medicine costs how much? I
Yeah.
gotta take cheap ass whatever. Baby, work on that. We fighting for that. What else we're fighting for? Like, y'all, it's a package. Go to our website, check it out. Economy Equality Act. Come on. There's a lack of jobs here in corporations. So we are literally asking
There
for $60
is.
million in retail property. We already said that yesterday. Yes, that's just in retail property. Y'all, come and
Yes.
support the bill. Liberations
Yes.
Act. What? Yeah,
Yes.
we want lands. There's a lot
Yes.
in here. There's a lot in here. So, y'all,
Yes.
please support us. Go to our website, share our website with your friends, put it on your Facebook, share this, like this, all that jazz. Because, y'all, we cannot do it alone. These other organizations that we're talking about, we can't reach
Can.
them all at one
And
time.
one of the most important things that we did talk about was the Voters Equality Act of 2020. And that's where we're giving felons the right to vote, and come on now, they're still a part of this country. They're still a part. And once they're released, you mean to tell me they have to wait so many years before they can? So why did they go to prison? Why did they serve time? Why are they paying? And then you're still saying that I'm not good enough to cast my vote? Oh no, we need to work on that. We need to work on that. I think and I believe that if you've done your time, then you're free. You're
And
free.
we're still citizens
Let us
of this country. Like we're still part of this country to take our right away to vote and say, like, the people who can make our towns better, that's we need that right. I know I had to wait 5 years or even 5 years to get my voting rights back. And that's after you get off probation. Some states I know, like in
after.
Maine, those people can still vote. But again, the places where they allow felons to vote aren't usually places that have a lot of melanated people that look like me and you. You
Right.
feel me? So
Right.
again, and these need to be federal laws. I'm not talking about state laws. That state to state BS does not work for me. If we're having these racial problems in one state, baby, we having them all the way across the damn board. Like that, state to state crap. No, we want federal change. Federal change. We want to make sure that in those legal states, I can't say that enough, where marijuana, cannabis, all that's legal, like we need 70% of that tax. What we're not playing with it. Don't sleep on us. Don't sleep on us. This whole sit-in and everything that we talking about, it will happen when we have everything we need.
Yes, it's going to happen.
Baby, we are not playing. We are not playing. That's what we do.
It can't help but to happen because we're queens. We decree a thing and it be.
Exactly. But what we won't do is beg. We ain't begging nobody. What we won't do is
Not
sit
gonna
here
do
and
it.
wait for the government to give us any type of handouts when really we can do it ourselves. But at the end of the day, this is what America, this is what you owe us. Like I was in this conversation where they were like, about racism and white people apologizing, and do we really care as black people? Like, do we really care if white people apologize? And it's like, it's not about an apology. Like, actions speak louder than damn words. I'm not saying you're responsible, but every time you bring up like, oh, well, are you sure that happened in your history? Like, are you sure they experimented on you guys with vaccines? Like, if you don't back
I
up, like, if you
love
don't
it.
why if you, and it's not even about that, like for real though, like sometimes it's better just to be quiet and do a little bit more. Like as a white person,
Yes,
if you're really
yes. We
sorry
are the
about
melanated
slavery,
movement. Yes,
volunteer at an organization. If you're really sorry about slavery,
yes,
donate to a black organization. If you're really sorry about slavery, buy black,
yes.
support black. Don't sit here and talk. Don't sit here and try to
Please.
understand. Don't sit here and try to give a different freaking a white perspective. We are done listening to your perspectives. We are done listening to your apologies because we don't care. It doesn't really matter. But what we do care about is your actions. What we do care about is when you put your other people in check. What we do care about is when you tell your people to support our people. What we do care about is, again, the actions that you put forth, not the words that come out of your mouth, not the perspective that comes out of your head. Yo, if you are sorry for the BS that people of color have to go through, not been through, have to go through, hello, somebody, get the words right. Not what black
Yes.
people had to go through, what black people have to have been through, okay, are going through. If you as
Been through.
another race
Yes.
would say to yourself, if you do not want to be black, because most black people, not that we don't want to be black, but if you can say, oh, I see as a black person, life is hard. Like if you can say that to yourself as another race, then check yourself. Like, how can you make it better to be a minority in America? Like, how do we change the perspective? How do we change the narrative? We all talk about racism in the news and we have everything to blame. We blame the rap music, and but yet we still watch these news channels that support the racist,
Come on.
the racism systemic narrative. We still support it. And why? We're doing
We
it,
do.
and
Yes.
we put it into our own brains. And black people, we support the narrative as well. You talk about CNN only got half of the story. Stop watching CNN. Now you're gonna watch it when you got more people that look like us on it. Well, no, we support the stories and the narratives that support our truths. Again, let me say that again. We support the stories and the narratives that support our truths. If they don't support our truths, then we need
Yes.
to stop supporting them. Y'all support the fake stuff more than you
Yes.
support the truth. Y'all will support the fake stuff and share the fake stuff, like to share fake stuff, comment on the negative more than you will like, share, and comment on the positive things that our own people are doing. Like, come on now.
That's it. It's just a matter of liking and sharing. It doesn't mean you have to agree. I don't expect you to agree with everything that I say. If you agree with everything that I say, then we don't have a conversation. I can't glean from you if you agree with everything. Give me a different perspective. Give me something that I can think about and I can glean from. You know, I want to plant more than just corn. Give me some peas. Give me some cabbage. Give me some green beans, potatoes, tomatoes. You know, give me some of that. And I can't get that. It's just, you know what I'm saying? You have one thing, I have one thing, and let's come together. It's a melanin movement. We are moving together. We are one body with whole different parts. And if we can finally come together, line upon line, precept upon precept, you get a little, I get a little, we can build and come together as one. That's what makes us so special. It is our differences. It is our ability to take what you have and you have and you have, and we can build something together. We can make a solid ground that way. You know, it's because people have kept us divided according to our differences. No, our differences shouldn't divide us. Our differences should bring us closer together because we see that, that's how we grow. That's how it comes together. That's how a city is built. You know, and even in the Bible, they didn't call for just one group of people. They called for carpenters. They called for those who could paint. They called for those who could sew. They called for those who can cook. They called for those who knew how to plow the ground. They called for those who raised cattle, those who knew how to, and they build a tribe. They build a city. They build a people. And so that's what we're calling for. This is a movement among Black people, not just one type, but all Black people. All of the, if we don't have anything in common, the one thing that we do, we're melanin.
Yeah.
Let's find that one commonality.
Let's have that, even if it's a little bit, a speck of it, you can really see it. Let's just come together on that one common ground that as Black people first, nothing else, that we're going to come together and just fight together. It's not about middle class, upper class, lower class. It's about as Black people, as a race, that we will stop dividing we will stop letting capitalism, Jim Crow,
Yes,
the systemic racism systems that we know are there that are set up to divide us as a people. And that's why we are still
yes,
fighting, because we are so divided as a people, right? Oh, I don't like the way she delivered that message. Oh, I don't like the way she dressed. Oh, I don't like this, and that. Baby, and that is the devil. Because if you just give the little bit of time, maybe she can give you something. She has something that you're lacking, and you have something that she's lacking. But together, y'all make a bomb dynamite team. So be open,
yeah.
open your
What?
hearts, open your minds. Just it's about changing your mindset, people. If we could again love a little bit more, dream a little bit bigger. And that's what I mean. Yeah, dream a
Yes,
little bit bigger. What does that mean? When you dream bigger,
yes,
you understand you need more people who really support your dreams, who really make it happen.
yes,
And so many of us
yes,
are dreaming with our hands out. Like, oh, I got this dream. I
yes.
got this thing that would be great. Pay me now and I'll make it happen later. Well, just make it happen and reap the benefits of something of what you say is great. Reap
Right,
the
right. Do
benefits
it
of what
now
you
and
say is great.
reap the rewards later. Yeah, do it,
Like
do it.
you don't plant a seed and say, feed me. Come on, people. You can't plant any seed and expect to be full. It takes
Ooh,
time. It takes time. You
mm,
have to nurture it. You have to water it. You actually have to pay attention to it. You have to know what soil to put it in. You got to know what makes it grow, how much light, how much no light, it dry, not dry. So know what you're planting. Know where you got to plant it.
no,
Know what soil you need
no.
around the seed that's inside of yourself.
Yes,
So
cultivate
you can so you
yourself.
can harvest, so you can harvest
Right,
and feast
right,
on the work that
right.
has already been done. Some of y'all just want to feast and don't put no type of work in at all. Like what? It does not work that way. That's capitalism. This society wants us to believe that it works that way. It does not work that way. It works that way for a certain people, but Black people, it's never worked that way for us. So to think that we could
It
even
has.
fall into that fake reality of BS, baby. The only truth is that we do have a wealth, but we keep throwing that wealth
Yes,
back into these white waters.
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes. We
let's
talk
keep
about
the
all
wealth
the
inside
time
our own
the
community.
concept,
Again, we talk about the
the
Black Wall
concept.
Street concept because the dollar circulated for how long, Miss Yolanda?
1 year. It circulated within the Black community for a whole year. And the only reason it exited the Black community was to pay taxes. And to pay taxes. Other
And
than
baby,
that,
you got ways where
that
you
one,
you barely got to pay that now too if you invest your money right. If you
man,
invest your money in the opportunity zones, if you invest your money, those taxes, they become very little. So it's all about the knowledge. What knowledge are you bringing? What knowledge are you even taking in? Self education is not a bad thing. Hey neighbor, I see you. So it's okay to self-educate. It's okay to be wrong. You guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm wrong about one thing probably every damn day. I'm probably wrong about, half the stuff I put out. And I'm not saying wrong, but it's like, I'm not here to say that I'm an expert, right? I can only come through my own experience. I try to only talk through my own truth. Not saying that that's every Black person's truth, but if we continue to ignore what our truths are, if we continue not to speak out on what our truths are, then the ignorance that is around us will stay around us. That is pretty much why I speak out on every little thing, whether it's Black, whether it's white, whether it's whatever, because I feel like if I don't, the ignorance that I feel surrounds me will stay around me.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. But that thing that you said, your truth is just that. It's yours. It's your truth. It's not to be argued. It's not to be, disputed or even whatever. It is your truth. And we have to learn to live in our own truth. I can't live in your truth. I can't live that way. I have to acknowledge my own and live in within my own truth. And that's where you'll find your peace. That's where you'll find your strength and your talents and your hopes and your dreams within your own self. Vicariously living for somebody else through somebody else, man, that's hurtful. That's really hurtful.
And it's not going to make
So,
you happy because you're striving for somebody else's dream. You're striving for somebody else's purpose. Don't let somebody else's perspective either dead your dreams. Don't let somebody else's
yeah,
perspective of what they see you as stop you from what you
yeah,
want to be. Okay,
yeah. That's
because
the
that's how a
Joseph
lot of us
syndrome.
end up in the depression. We end up with the addictions
Yes,
because we are trying
yes,
to live somebody else's perspective of who they see us as. I'm not here to live nobody else's perspective. I'm not here to live nobody else's dream. The only thing I'm here to do is make sure that I'm happy and make sure I provide my kids happiness and a life of freedom so that they can make their own choices, so that they become their own men. And I do what I do as an activist so that I can try to make this world a better place for them. Not saying that I can, but if I can try to let the people that surround me, that surround them, know that you're going to treat my sons and my people like kings and queens, because that's just how we roll. Like, there's no disrespect here. And I'm not the type of person that's going to keep my children or my people in a situation that is not good for them, that's not comfortable for them. I'm not homeschooling because I'm a home, like I was always like, I'm going to homeschool my kids. I hate the system, blah, blah, blah. I homeschool because it's the best thing for my child. It's the best thing for my child. It's a sacrifice that as a mother that I
yes,
know for
yes,
him, for his
yes.
mental mindset, for who he is as a man, as a person, this is the best thing for him. Do I wish I had my own time? I could do other things, baby. Yes, 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 I do. But as an adult, I knew when I knew a child was inside of me, I knew I had to make changes for my child. There's too many parents out here thinking that they don't have to make sacrifices for their children. I'm sorry, honey. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. There's certain I love doing drugs. Hell yeah, I love doing drugs. But I'm not out here doing drugs in the club because I can't be. I got kids. I got to be responsible. And I'm not knocking anybody who's out there living your best life. But if your best life trickles down to bullshit to the people that you brought into this world, and I'm not talking about your mom and them, your auntie, or your cousins, or those people around you, but if your bullshit trickles down to the people that you brought into this world that didn't ask to come into this world, strongly check yourself, because as a parent, there is a
Yes,
time as a parent you push out and you
yes,
realize the sacrifices you got to make. And a lot of us are making sacrifices that a lot of y'all don't see, that you're thinking, oh,
yes,
well, she's a stripper. Oh, well, she's a hoe. Bitch, no, I'm making sacrifices because either way, I got to put food on my table to feed my kids. So don't think I'm talking to
yes.
those people that are out here doing a whole bunch of extra shit to make sure that there's food on their table. But there's a lot of y'all not doing anything, who just living under somebody else's roof. Like, just, you're not doing enough. Like, you got to make those certain sacrifices, and those sacrifices will only better you, because baby, these babies will only be around so long, they'll be gone, and then you can go back doing to your life, live your life, do what you want to do. But understand, as
Now
some,
you know,
if
now
we're going
you
to
know
make
I
the
have to
world a
jump in
better
on
place,
that one.
yeah, if we're
You
gonna make the
know
world
that.
a better place, understand that means we gotta teach our kids to do better. That means we gotta
We
show our kids
have
that I
to.
had to
We have to.
sacrifice. that, and if that means
You have
fixing
to.
relationships, if that means I'm going to be a better baby mama, I'm going to be a better baby daddy, it don't mean you have to be with that person to make sure that your child is in
No,
a healthy
no,
mindset
no.
environment. It's about those sacrifices. Or maybe
No.
you just got to tell somebody the truth,
Yes,
like, this is not working, this is not working, because
it's
the
not working.
environment that we are putting our children in, like I knew with my oldest's father, this is not going to work. I can't raise my son in an abusive household. I don't give a damn how, what. No, that's not going to work. That's not what I'm trying to raise. That's not, I'm not putting that on him. And some of y'all got to check yourselves on that. And it's okay. I know some of you
Amen.
want to hold on like, well, they'll change and da 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 da. That's fine. Come back when they do. Come back when they do.
Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back. But until
Don't
then,
allow
you know,
yourself
it
to be in the situation.
but
Come back when
you
they change. If not for yourself, come back when they change for your kids. Because guarantee if you
for
just
the
leave, you'll
kids.
find something better. I guarantee if you leave and start loving yourself the way you want to be loved, the way you should be loved, you will find somebody to love you and treat you the way you should be treated. That's all I'm gonna say there. Tips for the day. Tips for the day. I can't take too long.
You know, I'm just gonna sit back and say, get them, just get them. You know, I know when you're on one, so I sit back and like, yeah, she's on one, and I completely agree. You know, I've been watching my granddaughters since they've been participating in virtual learning, and I've been seeing the not only that, but coming out of the school system, because I worked in the school system for 12 years as well. So I know how some of the teachers respond and react to different types of students, you know, especially. And in the Monroe school system right now, because most of the melanin skin children are being homeschooled, the different tactics that are being used on virtual learning, man, it's horrible. It's really, really horrible. And it's so frustrating. They, you know, with the teachers going into school, first of all, I say again, the school system was not ready for a pandemic. Nobody was ready for a pandemic. So therefore, even entering into school system, everything was just arrayed, you know, anyway. So with that being said, not being ready and not being prepared, they really didn't care. I'm not going to say they didn't care about the students or their job, but you know, you have a health thing going on. I got to care about me, mine, and take it back home. You know, so teachers getting sick, you're having substitutes coming in who really are just as lost as the teachers, you know, at this point in time. And it was just frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. And
It's
I'm
frustrating.
looking
I
and I'm
think that
seeing and
all
I'm
the way
seeing,
across the board, not just in Louisiana.
yeah, all the way across the board, all the way across the board. And, you know, and that's one thing I appreciate so much about O.M.A is that, you know, we do homeschool our students, and we do have homeschooling classes. If you're having problems with homeschooling, if you need tips on homeschooling, even if you need material homeschooling, you know, we have that. We have
The girls got
a
you. I've been
curriculum to
doing this
where,
for 4 years, way before a
yes,
pandemic.
yes,
So I can help you with tips when it
yes,
comes to homeschooling. I'm here for y'all.
yes,
When the pandemic hit, a lot of people were
yes.
hitting me up like, yo, what do I do? Can you send my kid extra work? So I've been doing this since Jerome was in first grade. So I got from first grade all the way up to fourth grade.
Yeah,
Actually, we got pre-K stuff
yeah.
because he's always needed a little bit of extra, and we've always tried to provide it for him. I love homeschooling. I
Mhm.
don't know how the remote learning is, but as far as the schools and the systems, again, like Miss Yolanda says, the schools weren't designed for us, right? The curriculum wasn't designed for us. And we're not out here saying that all teachers or all people that look like us are racist. That's not what we're saying. But
Right.
the system itself is like, it's just not designed for us. Like those teachers, or most of those teachers, they don't understand the home life or the mindset of a person of color. So they approach us different. They
No.
approach us like they
Right.
dumb us down. Whereas like that's not the issue. The issue is not the work. The issue is like I'm just dealing with shit. Like just talk to me like a human.
Exactly.
down to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't look at me like I'm
Lady
trash.
tell me to take my child to McDonald's. What? I'll go to the school. I was like, well, do you have it was during the time we had two hurricanes in Louisiana back to back. So our internet was just everywhere. So I went to the school and was asking them, do you have is there a hot spot to, well, it is your internet? I said, no, my internet is fine. It's not my internet. It's this right here. So she gonna ask me, she said, well, is it possible for you to take your child to McDonald's? Yeah, I can, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm not going to stop. I'm working as well. So I'm not going to do this to do that. No, you're going to fix this. You're going to fix it. And
So
everything
the
that she's lacking in
insensitivity.
behind, you're going to rectify it. Yeah, you're going to get it straight. You're going to get it straight. So when my grandbaby finally went back to class, they were taking a test. And so the teacher was telling her, to participate in the test. So she looked at me and she was like, I don't know this. So here I am on the system typing. How do you expect her to take this when she hadn't been in your class in 2 weeks? Oh, well, can you? No, I'm not a teacher. No, you fix it. You get it straight. And they did. They had to curve everything for her. But yet and still, the school, if the system was not ready for
First of
a
all, the class
pandemic.
system itself, virtual learning was a mess. There's too many kids in one classroom. That's just a distraction. Like, not all kids learn the same. At least here in New York, the classes were over. Like, they're too full. But I can't take up too much of you guys' time today. I actually have to put Jerome on one of his virtual classes, even though he is kind of on vacation, but not everybody celebrates our holidays. So he's still
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
his little stuff.
Shout out
So
to Village Inc. for their shirt. Yeah. All
yeah.
praises to the Most High. Yes, Welch Incorporated, Black-owned business.
Hey. And
Dope
everybody
shirts.
waiting for the newsletter. I'm going to send that out. I'm trying, it was supposed to start yesterday, doing another live where it's just me talking about this whole me sexual movement. And that's another, just like a mind thing. So I'm going to try to start that today. So y'all probably see me live again. So that would be a 30-minute live. Also, we have our grant class tonight at 8 o'clock. So that one might be a little full today because I got a lot of people from Clubhouse ready for this grant class. And then tomorrow we have our O.M.A. So that's, again, if you want to know about the legislation and stuff that we're working on as far as a whole committee and group, join us for that. But we love you guys. Thank you for listening.
And we also have a Black Panther meeting on tomorrow as well. So all leaders of the Black Panther Party, we're calling for a meeting tomorrow. You should have gotten the email or check your inboxes.
Please, yes. All right, guys. Have a great, awesome day. Like I said, you'll probably see me again later. So check us out. Bye.
Bye.